Rob, a weekend at home this week, obviously with Barnet visiting the stadium. I mean, just quickly looking back to Tuesday, obviously you were supposed to have that game against Solihull, postponed due to the weather. So what's the week looked like in place of that, really?
Yeah, it's just a normal week. We trained Tuesday night once we knew the game was off, and then we trained Wednesday and then prepared for the game today. So sort of as close to a normal week as possible. Obviously disrupted a little bit by the game getting called off so late, but sort of out of our hands really. So we just sort of cracked on as we normally would and ready to go for tomorrow. Yeah,
and touching on tomorrow a little bit, I mean, Barnet did have a game on Tuesday. They went to Oldham. I mean, it probably feels like most of the time you are usually the ones who are having a game and not having as much sort of rest period between it before having a game on the Saturday. But what, if any, difference do you feel like that kind of actually makes when you look at it from your perspective, having a few days extra rest in you than Barnet have done?
I don't think it makes too much difference, to be honest. You know, we had that run last year. We played pretty much every 3 days, and you know, you get momentum, you get consistency, you get understanding, you get match ready. Obviously, ideally, we want more games because a lot of our lads need some minutes. The new lads who've come in, so we haven't been able to get them. So we've been trying to build them up in training, which has been good, and we're getting there slowly. But yeah, it's, you know, for Barnet, obviously, you know, I thought they were very unlucky in the result. I thought they were very good despite losing. So I suppose for them, they'll want to be back on the horse to get another win. And for us, it's a case of, you know, starting to build up some momentum, get back to our structure in terms of game understanding, the way we play, helping the new lads bed in, and yeah, just slowly trying to get players back on the pitch as well.
Yeah, and you mentioned having some new lads in the ranks, obviously quite a few new faces now really in terms of lads who've come in but probably haven't been able to get too many minutes on the pitch yet. But how is the process from your point of view of trying to bed those lads in? Obviously quite a few of them are fairly young lads sort of towards the start of their careers as well.
Yeah, it's just trying to cover everything really. It's trying to cover the detail in terms of the way we play. It's trying to get their minutes up. It's trying to get them on the pitch again. Dawkins is unfortunate in terms of the red card, so then we down to 10, so we can't get lads on the pitch in positions we want to, because we had to think about the overall structure. Obviously having to put Mams on when he wasn't even in the squad to start the day wasn't ideal. The lads were tremendous in terms of their application and their and the way they went about the business after we went down to 10. Unfortunately, we created enough. In my opinion, we created enough chances to get something from the game, but we just weren't able to be ruthless. And I think that's what we're looking for now, is to get back to having that cutting, attacking threat, and the boys coming in hoping to help us add to that.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously we touched on Barnet a little bit in terms of them having that game on Tuesday, but in terms of, you know, the league position and everything, they're still one of the sides fighting right up the top end of the table, even with that defeat on Tuesday. So how are you looking ahead to tomorrow specifically in terms of testing yourselves? And I suppose for new boys, if any of them do start or get on the pitch at some point, it's not a baptism of fire, but I suppose it's showing the toughest test that the league can offer for them right off the bat, really.
Yeah, really, yeah. I think it's going to be a good game. I thought the game when we played them down their place, it was an excellent game. Obviously, we were pleased with the win, but Barnet are a very, very good team. I think they've probably become a bit more possession-based even since we played them, and they were a possession-based team anyway. However, with, you know, the likes of Camambra up front, they can be more direct. They like to put crosses in the box. They like to control the midfield with the box that they play. So it's up to us to sort of counter that and also make sure that our game and our structure dominates theirs and that we get control of the football, because otherwise it'll be a difficult night for us. And then, yeah, with the new lads coming in, it's just a good taste to them of what a top team in the National League looks like, teams that are vying for promotion, and you know, we have to stand up to that physical test and also mentally be able to be brave enough to keep playing our football, keep sticking to our concepts, and then obviously on the flip side have that belief that we can go and hurt Barnet and win the game.
Yeah, and in terms of obviously the new arrivals coming in, Dejan, someone who's come in this week, another sort of body to the front line to add as well. It's his first sort of senior loan, so how much are you looking forward to seeing him in action, but also I suppose trying to help him? I mean, we mentioned bedding in and stuff as well. I suppose it's a bit of a different environment in his first senior loan versus being in the academies, although obviously he has been around the first team at Derby and things like that as well.
Yeah, no, Dej is he's a big, powerful lad, but you have to remember sometimes that despite his physical stature, he's still an under 18. So it's a huge testament that we're able to, to Derby, to him and to us, to be able to get him in and develop him. I'm excited to get him on the pitch. I think he's got a real natural desire to score goals. He's got a rawness about him with his age, that can can be unpredictable, but he's also got fantastic technique. He holds the ball up really well. He understands the patterns in the play, and like all the players that come here, whether they're on loan or our players, we're just going to try and help them develop to get better. And yeah, so he's a real exciting one to see. I think patience with Dej as well, in the fact that he is young, so we need to make sure we support him and make sure the minutes are right for him when they're applied. But it adds good options across the front line, and that's what I want. I want a sort of an option in every position, so that ultimately the lads know that they've got to buy in and perform. And with the amount of games coming up, there's going to be lots of rotation and lots of minutes for everyone because of the fact of the hectic schedule with the games called off. And I think that's really important. The squad depth's really important. And yeah, Dej, Kane, Evo, Wermo, Beachy, the lads have added to that.
And a little bit of positive news on the injury front with players who are already here but have been out for a little bit, in that Ed Francis has been able to come back into training a little bit at least. Obviously a bit of a protective headband he's sporting as well with the nature of the injury he had, so good on that front from your point of view, I imagine, to sort of see him back in the mix, even if it maybe isn't fully ready to be back in the squad or anything like that yet.
Yeah, no, I got, he's just walking down there smiling at us. So no, it's brilliant to see him in. Obviously straight away he comes in, his quality comes back into training, which is great, but we've got to respect his injury, and ultimately we've got to protect Ed. We've got to protect him from himself as well. So yeah, he's probably 2 or 3 weeks away from being back on the pitch, but signs are really positive. We'll get checked up again. He's got the protective headband, headpiece, etc. So no, it's good. I think obviously still got Greg, Tinks, Boots now with the suspension. We've got a lot of strength coming back in, so it's a real challenge to the lads who get their minutes now to make sure they make it as difficult as possible for these boys to get back in, and also make sure that as a group, as a squad, we understand how we play, our concepts, and going forward that whoever plays in any position understands it well enough to still be effective. Because coming up against multiple different types of teams, we're going to need different individuals in different scenarios to be able to showcase their talents to help us get the points and keep us in the top half of the table, pushing towards the playoffs.
And aside from Ed, how is the sort of rest of the picture of the squad looking as well? Obviously you mentioned there that Regan's suspended at the moment as well. Yeah,
no, we've got a bit of an issue with Regan's suspension. We're trying to appeal it, but there's a bit of a technical issue, and so I think that's with the FA. Hopefully, they'll look at it, because I think probably it's quite clear to see that, in our opinion, it's not a red card. So hopefully that'll be resolved, and fingers crossed that's good news. But we'll have to wait and see. Let everyone at the club deal with that. Obviously, I think everyone's been made aware. Mams, unfortunately, a couple of weeks ago lost his mum suddenly. So he met us at Dorking and ended up being on the pitch, and obviously it's an absolute. It's an incredible feat the way he played second half to do that, considering the situation. So we're obviously making sure that we're doing whatever we can for him. He's not going to be available this weekend for personal reasons, but obviously I think goes without saying that the way the lads have been, the way Mams has been, we just want to love and support him as best we can. And when he's ready to, he'll be back on the pitch for us, helping us as he always does. But other than that, just the other lads coming back. Greg, good news. Tommy's getting there, 90 as well. Connor Panny's up in his works, should be back next week. So hopefully the squad's getting stronger, and we can start looking forward to watching more people come back on the pitch and enjoy the football that we always enjoy watching.